one. So Kevin Durant is officially going to make his debut tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. This is the moment we're waiting for, right? The Suns, on paper, look like they might be the best team in the league. Now, personally, as somebody that has seen multiple super teams, quote unquote, fail. I mean, even the Lakers have had several that have just not worked out. The Brooklyn Nets, right? Everyone thought, oh, lock them in. They're a championship, and they never even made it out of the second round. So, there's things like that go into this. A lot of questions with the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul, will he show up in the playoffs? Will he be able to stay healthy? Devin Booker, he's been completely absent and has disappeared in big moments. Kevin Durant, can he stay healthy? He's been a lot injury prone this year. Defense, they traded away all of their wing defense. Are they going to be able to defend other teams this season, right? And especially come the playoffs. Lack of depth. Are they going to have enough depth to ride the rest of the season and into the playoffs without guys getting hurt? Now, once you get into the playoffs, you're only running like 7 or 8 guys anyway, so that will be hugely beneficial. But still, if somebody goes down, what ends up happening? Now, personally, I don't fully buy the Suns this season yet. I don't think the Suns traded for Kevin Durant for this season. I think it was like, hey, let's get him now. Give us a real chance to try to go and contend for a championship. We're a year removed from being in the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, right? So, we're there. Kevin Durant takes us to another level. Let's give us a real shot. But I think next season is where they really will start molding the team around these 3 guys. I think DeAndre Ayton, I think he's very likely to go. I would actually be kind of surprised if he plays another full season with the Phoenix Suns, because this season they can't really trade him. He has a full, basically right to refusal on any trade because of the contract he signed. But that expires next season. So he, right now, if they wanted to trade him to, say, Detroit for depth, right, and they wanted to get a couple pieces, right, just throwing a team out there, but let's say, or, whatever, or they wanted to trade him to the Warriors for, several pieces, whatever. They can't do that if Ayton says, I don't want to be traded to the Warriors. I don't want to play for the Warriors, or I don't want to play for Detroit, or I don't want to play for whatever, right? So it really limits their ability to trade him. I think that was one of the reasons, and maybe the reason why they didn't trade Ayton to the Brooklyn Nets, right? They might have wanted to keep Bridges. They might have wanted to keep Cam. But Ayton might have said, I'm not going to Brooklyn. I don't want to play in Brooklyn. I don't want to go to a rebuilding Brooklyn team or something like that. Who knows? I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I'm saying I could see them using DeAndre Ayton as their way, as their tool to get the pieces that they need, because they don't need a ball-dominant, low-post type of center that can go get you 20-10. You got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. That's going to be the best scoring duo in the league, bar none, in my opinion. And so all you need to do is go get a defensive, versatile, rebounding center. Just get somebody that can, protect the paint, block some shots, and defend. That's it. That's all you need. And then go get a couple perimeter defenders, right? Go get even a Stanley Johnson would be good for them. A guy that he's got good size, can defend multiple positions, just start adding some defense to this team. That is something that they need, because they have more than enough firepower between Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And then Chris Paul, whatever he brings in, stuff like that. So regardless, I think that this year is more of this gives us a real chance, but let's go in there, right? Let's go into next season and see how this goes. Also, is this really a super team? Chris Paul, again, is only getting older. He's fallen off. He's not the guy he once was. DeAndre Ayton, where do you rank DeAndre, right? Is he top 20 player? I don't think so. Is he top 25 player? Maybe. Is he top 30? Probably. So, talking about a top 25 to 30 player, Devin Booker, same thing. Is he top 15? I don't think so. Is he top 20? Maybe. Top 25? Probably. So, outside of Kevin Durant, you got 2 top 20 to 25 players on your team, and then Kevin Durant, who's probably top 5. Right? But, granted, that's a great cast. I'm not saying that they're not one of the best teams in the league. I just want to see them play. Like, let's see. What if it's terrible? Because, like, look, Chris Paul, the idea is Chris Paul has the ball and he can kind of be playmaker, facilitator to allow Kevin Durant and Devin Booker to get their touches. Not just that, Kevin Durant doesn't need a ton of volume to get a lot of points, right? He is so efficient that he can kick the ball out, pass it out to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant could get 20 points on 8 shots. Like, that's what it is. Like, he can. Like, he's just that good, that talented, that skilled, and just that lethal of a shooter. But also, Kevin Durant is one of, if not the best, pick and roll players and decision makers in the league this year. So it would be best to have the ball in Kevin Durant's hands. So now, does it get clunky with Kevin Durant and Chris Paul? Does Chris Paul start dribbling too much and trying to make plays and do things and kind of divvy up the ball rather than just giving it to your best player and let him make a play, let him make a decision? That might be what it boils down to. There's just a lot of questions this year with this Phoenix Suns team. Again, nobody would be shocked if they won the NBA championship. But I just keep seeing people saying it's title or bust. They're going to win the championship, writing them in as the champions of this year's finals, and I just don't necessarily see it. Like, not locked in. This isn't Kevin Durant on the Warriors, where it's like, yeah, nobody's beating them. This team is very beatable this year. I still think the Bucks would probably run through the Phoenix Suns, because you could put Giannis on KD, you could put Drew Holiday on Chris Paul, and then put Middleton on Ayton, or leave Chris Paul. Put Giannis on Ayton and just dominate that matchup. Put Middleton on Kevin Durant to just make things difficult. Drew Holiday on Devin Booker. Like, I still think that there are teams that have more depth, have enough talent, and can really make some noise. But we're finally going to get to see what this team looks like. What is this team's makeup? How does this team look, going forward? Does Kevin Durant and Chris Paul and Devin Booker, do they look clunky tonight? Is it a little awkward? They only have 20 more games left. So they have to figure everything out in 20 games. Luckily, Kevin Durant is just so plug and play. He really is just so plug and play that I think that is going to be hugely beneficial. But still, there's going to be questions. Guys are used to getting it. Like, Devin Booker's used to getting X amount of shots. Is he going to be able to not do that? Is he going to be able to divvy that up? Is Chris Paul going to be okay with, Kevin Durant screaming and demanding the ball and he's trying to make some play elsewhere and Kevin Durant's just screaming at him? Chris Paul, we've seen, he can get a little pesky at times with teammates and stuff like that. DeAndre Ayton, he hasn't seemed like he wanted to be there the last several seasons. He's been a locker room problem. He's been arguing with coaches on the bench. He's been a real issue. Does that continue? Does he start looking at it as like, I'm not getting the ball? Kevin Durant shooting 20 shots a game. Devin Booker shooting 25 a game. I'm getting like 10 touches a game. Does he start getting upset? And does he start looking at it as like, I want my numbers too? There's just a lot of questions that go into this. It could be very clunky. It could look very bad this year. I still think that they have a shot. I'm not saying it's going to look, Hornets bad or, something like that. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but it might not be what people expect. People are expecting this to just, that's it. These guys are together. They're going to run away to the promised land. And I don't necessarily buy that yet. The all opposite side of that is that these next 20 games, they just run through everybody. If they go like 20-0 or, 17-3 over these 20 games and they're just running through everybody and it looks like, yeah, then maybe we're having a different conversation. My only thing is, like, let's wait and see. So many people are so quick to jump to, like, the next hot thing. Oh, this is it. It's over. It's like, dude, do you not know who, like, the Warriors are? Like, they just won a championship. I know that they've been a little rocky this year, but still, they were a little, people were saying the same stuff last year, and look what happened, right? Like, do we remember who the Bucks are? I mean, even the Celtics look pretty good, right? Like, so there are teams that I still think, I mean, Denver has been a well-oiled machine all year. All year. They're going to be tough for Phoenix to beat and just defend, right? Like, so I just, again, I'm not so quick to check off like, hey, yeah, Phoenix, lock them in. I think that they would have a hard time against the Clippers, as bad as the Clippers have looked lately. I just think you have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to guard Kevin Durant, like, and all you have are wings to defend Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Like, that's your entire team. Your entire roster is like built for the Suns right now. So I love the addition of Kevin Durant. I think that this Phoenix Suns team is going to be very good for the next several seasons. But I do think that they need more. I do think that they need to work out their defense. I think they need to work out their depth. I think this team is still older. You know, like if all these guys were in their prime, yes, I would probably be like everyone else going, man, this team is watch out. This, like, I don't see anybody beating this team. You know, like if Chris Paul was, Clippers Chris Paul, and you had Kevin Durant as like Warrior KD, and you had Devin Booker as Devin Booker now, yeah, absolutely. I'd be like, oh, like I don't know if anyone beats these guys. Like, even without the defense, even without the things. But again, Chris Paul, I mean, is non-existent at times, even without the injury history. Devin Booker, we have seen him completely disappear in big moments. Completely disappear in big moments. I mean, even in regular season games, we see him just disappear in big moments, or just not be clutch when the team needs him to be clutch. Granted, that's what Kevin Durant's there for. Kevin Durant solves a lot of that. But I could absolutely see teams doing to the Suns what the Celtics did to the Nets last season, where it's like, we're just going to throw everybody at Kevin Durant and we're going to make everyone else beat us. You got to remember, the Nets had a deeper roster, and they still had Kyrie Irving in that series. And the Celtics were like, if Kyrie Irving and the rest of these role guys can beat us, so be it. But we're going to make sure Kevin Durant doesn't beat us. We're going to take him completely out of the games because he is the engine. And I could see a lot of teams following that sort of motto, where they just lock in, hone in on Kevin Durant, make Kevin Durant have to give up the ball, and make Devin Booker and Chris Paul and a bunch of role guys try to beat you. And I don't know if they can. I mean, we've seen it. We saw it. We saw them just crumble on several occasions. Kevin Durant is going to solve so much for this Phoenix Suns team. So much for this Phoenix Suns team. And I do think that they're going to be very good going forward. I could see them absolutely winning a championship. But winning championships are hard. It's more than just assembling players. Like I said, the Lakers have had several superstar super teams that were great that didn't work out. I mean, so just because this team looks good on paper and they look like they're arguably the best team on paper doesn't mean that's really going to work out. And again, I don't even know if I'd really call this team a super team. I think it's a very, very good team. I don't think there is anywhere close to, like, I think if this team played the Warriors with Kevin Durant, I think the Warriors with Kevin Durant would blow this team out and sweep them in 4 games. Like, I don't think this team is that good. I think that they are very good. They might be the best team in the league right now, but time will tell. I still have a couple teams, in my opinion, that I think I would take over the Suns. But we'll see. We're going to find out tonight. We're going to see how good Kevin Durant is with this roster. We'll see how good this team is in general. So anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. What do you think? Do you think Phoenix is it? Do you think they're not? Are you excited for Kevin Durant? Are you not? However you feel, let me know down in the comments below.